Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, you're welcome. If you're returning, you're welcome back. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. So today I want to quickly share with you some tips on how to live with people. Now, have you ever been in a situation where you had to leave your parents' house to stay with a relative for a while, maybe some weeks, some months, some years, or you've had maybe your family friends come to stay with you in your parents' house for the same amount of time, right? The situation can be very interesting, can be funny, can be weird, can be awkward, because the people who are coming to stay with you, they don't really know what it feels like to live with you. So there's a lot of tension, there's a lot of emotional tension, there's a lot of, like you're just anxious, you don't know what to expect, and you don't want anybody to piss you off, you don't want anybody to cross your boundaries. It's a very funny situation, and a lot of emotional intelligence goes into it, a lot of understanding, a lot of wisdom, right? So I'm just here to unpack some of those things that would help you to live successfully with people who you are not really used to living with. Okay, now people always say that you know a person's true character when you live with them. To some extent, I believe that it is true. Now, I'm in that position where I'm not in my parents' house. I'm staying with my auntie and my uncle, and I love it. I love them. I love everything about this place. I don't have any trouble. I don't have any problem staying here. Frankly, I love it. Okay. Without wasting your time, let's just get into the video. First thing you should pay attention to is praying. Before you go to stay in anybody's house, before you make such plans, always pray and commit every single thing to God. Ask God for direction. Be specific in your prayer. Whatever you want and whatever you don't want, present it to God. I'm not saying that you should start writing down ridiculous requests or something, because of course when you're praying you have to apply wisdom. So pray and be specific in your prayers. Okay, another thing that you have to pay attention to when it comes to living with people is dressing decently. Now, dressing decently is not just to ward off sexual assaults or rape or anything like that. Quite frankly, that's not even the aspect that I'm looking at. I'm looking more in the perspective of you looking good, you looking presentable, whether or not you are at home. A lot of people say, oh, I'm at home, what's the need of dressing well and everything, unless you live alone. But if you're living with people, try to look presentable. Okay, don't make them feel like a rag came to stay with them. Try to look good, try to look okay. I believe that it is a very, very important point, and this also leads me to my next point, which is cleanliness. You guys, especially in this COVID period, cleanliness is very, very important. Don't go to people's house or people's houses and be a slob. Don't be disgusting, don't be dirty, don't be disorganized. Please arrange yourself. If you are maybe going to work, or you're going to work every day, when you come back, try to wash off your clothes, because you've already come in contact with a lot of people, you've been in public, and like I said, COVID is the numbers are really, really rising now. So everybody should learn to be on guard, especially if you're staying with people, so that you do not pose as a threat to their health and also to your own health. So when you're living with people, try to be clean. If you are given a room to stay by yourself, whether or not you're staying by yourself, keep it clean, because the owner of the house doesn't want to come into a particular room in their house and feel like someone is messing it up. It doesn't feel good. Okay, with that being said, when you are living with somebody else, like if you have to share the room with maybe your cousin or your family friend or something, try as much as possible to keep it clean. I know that living with people is a very difficult thing to do, especially if maybe you are a clean freak and the person that you have to stay with is very scattered or very dirty. Do you understand? Then you don't want to overstep, you don't want to cross boundaries. This leads me to my next point: boundaries. Boundaries are very, very important. You guys, respect people's boundaries. I don't know, people are not even sensitive enough to know people's boundaries without being told. I'm someone that believes so much in boundaries. I mean, you don't want to step on people's toes, and you don't want people to step on your own toes. So try to respect people's boundaries. If you're staying with somebody and maybe they dropped their stuff here, maybe they dropped their lotion here, and you want to use it, ask. May I use your lotion, please? Ask politely. Don't just assume that, oh, they'll be cool and then you just take it. No, that's not how to live. Even if you are 100% sure that they are going to agree, try to ask, because it is the right thing to do. And with that being said, don't make it a habit of always borrowing their things, always borrowing. Try to save up some money and get your own things, because you're not contributing to the money that they are spending. Okay, so try to contribute in any way that you can and respect boundaries. Don't farms, especially in the early stages of you getting accustomed to living in that person's house. Don't talk too much. Don't feel like you're so opinionated. Don't always have something to say unless maybe a question is thrown at you. Try to study the environment before you now say, okay, I want to say this, or before you have something to contribute. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be yourself. I'm not saying that you should be now so like quiet and everything, but courtesy demands, okay? Respect boundaries, study the environment, and don't overstep, okay? My next point is learning how to contribute in any little way, whether it's financially, morally, emotionally, any little way. Try to contribute. It goes a very, very long way. When you're living with people, even if it's just in the relationships, even if it's just like you helping out, maybe giving advice or something like that, it really goes a long way. It's nice to have somebody that is like an asset to the house and not a liability. Do you understand? So don't be so. I understand that the withdrawal syndrome is very real. I am currently experiencing it, but a part of growth and maturity is pushing yourself away from your comfort zone. Do you understand? Being available, being of help to situations where your help is needed, right? So it is very, very important for you to contribute in any possible way that you can. And while you're contributing, also try not to do over sabi. But nobody sent you a message to do something, but you want to go and do it, and do not be looking at you like, who be this guy? Don't do any over sabi. Like I said, where you have questions, ask for clarity. Okay? Like I said in the beginning, learn to pray. I don't know why I'm repeating this point, but I do feel like it is a very, very important and valid point. When you are staying with somebody, try to pray. Try to be attentive. Some of you are not attentive. Some of you are not sensitive. Try to read the room. Okay, try to read the room. Try to know when to stop. Try to know when to step in. Try to know when to do things. Some of you are not sensitive at all, and I would really want for people to be more sensitive to situations. I would really want for people to not talk so blatantly about anything that comes to your mind. You just say it, and some people give the excuse of, oh, that's how I am. No, that's not how you are. You're just being annoying in the most subtle ways. Even when it comes to playing music, you're playing music and you're making noise in the whole place. It's not nice. It's not nice at all. You don't know if the other person is comfortable with the music that you're playing. I personally do not even like loud music. Loud music kind of scares me. So when people are just making noise, I don't even like noise. When people are making noise, it makes me get very anxious, and you don't know what the other person is going through. So don't just assume and don't just get so comfortable in the person's house. Do you understand? You need, like I said at the beginning, emotional intelligence, wisdom, and understanding goes into it. Okay. I hope that with these few points I've been able to educate and inform you about some of the things that you should do and you should not do when it comes to living with people. Now, if you made it this far to the end of the video, thank you for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to drop a comment. Ask me any question. I'm willing to answer, and let's just have a conversation. Okay. Okay, thank you for watching. Peace.